Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to day number 24 of 30 videos in 30 days. Still going strong here. Haven't burned out completely yet. Anyway, I got something really cool for you this morning. We're going to be taking a look at something brand new from Waves. This is the SSL EV2 plugin. Now, SSL is basically the sound of my favorite records growing up. Well, most of them anyway. If you bought a metal record in the 80s or the 90s, there was a very, very good chance it was mixed on an SSL console. It is essentially the sound of modern records. Now, I've featured some SSL plugins on the channel before. I've looked at some of the Wave stuff. I've looked at the SSL branded stuff. This one is brand new. Waves just sampled a whole new board, and they've got a new EQ section in place. And, well, let's cut the bullshit here, shall we? Let's just check out how it sounds. This is just the SSL on drums and guitars, and this is real drums, no samples, no nothing. Check this out. What is going on there, by Crum? I think we've got something cool. All right, buckle your seatbelts. It's about to get nerdy in here. All right, I'm really excited about this one. I don't know what the hell Waves did, but they really pulled something off with this one. So I gotta mention this right now before we even get started. This thing is going for a whopping $39 right now. So there's a deal over on the Waves website. So if you want to go grab this before we even get into the nitty gritty of this, grab it now, because I don't think this sale is going to last for very long. $39 for a $249 plugin. That's pretty freaking sweet. Waves also has a free plugin giveaway going on Black Friday. So you can actually head over to their site and sign up for that as well and get yourself a free Waves plugin. It's going to be brand new. I'm not allowed to tell you guys what it is, but some of you guys might actually like it. All right, now, breaking it down here, we've got the new SSL E-channel V2. So it's basically, you know, your typical SSL channel. I mean, like, that was kind of what the name implied. So we've got our analog input section with the line input and then mic gain as well, in case you want to, like, say, lard up a signal and make it distort and that kind of shit. You got a compressor, you got a gate, and then you got your filters, you know, for high pass, low pass filter. You've got two types of EQ. You got the black EQ and the brown EQ. The brown EQ is supposed to be the flavorful one. Can't believe I said that with a straight face. Now, the brown EQ is the one that might be a little less clinical sounding, might sound a little bit better when it's driven. That's the whole thinking there. And the black EQ is the one that came a little bit later on in the SSL brand and was supposed to be a bit more clinical. And, you know, this is the insane thing about recording. It's like when we were on analog, we were trying to get things cleaner and cleaner and cleaner, and get things as pristine as they possibly could be. And then when we moved into the digital realm, we're like, oh no, we need to, you know, dirty things up a little bit. It's way too clean. So the whole idea here is to give you that kind of a slightly more dirty sounding EQ. And, you know, it's got all the SSL flavors. This is a little button here is the solo button, so you can just hear the EQ section working. You know, you've got your high band, your high mid, your low mid, and then the low mid, and then you got a switchable bell there. Same with the top. What can I say? It's an SSL EQ. It's pretty fucking standard. What I've got here is, you see I got dynamics to channel out. So what I've got set up right here is I've got this chain set up when I push this button. This puts the EQ before the compressor. And that's how I like to work. I like to EQ into compression, not the other way around. Not compress the sound, then EQ it. No. If you push the EQ into compression, you can drive it a little bit harder and get some cool fucking sounds. It's a little bit smoother sounding, whatever. Yeah, and then you've got an output meter, and then there's a stereo width adjuster, and you can, like, reverse the stereo field, because that does come up every now and then. Extra wide, it's okay, I guess. And then filter will only affect the stereo field above a certain threshold in the frequency spectrum. I'm going to throw that on guitars and I'll show you what it does. I can't really recommend it for the metal stuff too much. It's not great on stereo guitars. I'll just be honest with you there. But the overall sound on this thing is just a fucking monster. I'm pretty fucking blown away by what's going on. Probably bring your guitars up there. right, yeah, I gotta say, I think I'm in love with that whole sound of that mix. I gotta say, I'm really blown away that's just completely in the box. Almost, I lied there. I've got just the slightest bit of outboard processing going on this channel here at my drum bus. I'm going out to the Tagler Magnetismus. That's what my drums are going on to. If I just go over and switch it out, still sounds pretty fucking good. This kind of just makes things a little bit more slamming, and it's pretty cool. I'm really getting into the outboard thing, but that's for another episode. But let me just give you a channel breakdown here, what's going on all the drums. So I've got my drum crusher, which is my parallel compression. I've got my drum bus, which is what all the close mics go to, the kick, snare, tom mics, that's all going there. I've got 3 kick mics going into 1 kick channel. So we've got kick 1, kick 2, and then a sub kick. All those 3 are being combined in a folder into the kick bus here. Now, you wonder what I've got. I'm processing these all separately. I have 3 different SSL channels on here, and these are all just gates. I don't have any EQ or compression going on any of these at the moment. And oh yeah, one thing I really like about this is we can shrink the size down on these. Look at this. It's not just where you can't just grab the corner, unfortunately, and resize these things. They don't want to do that. But if you want to get a zoomed in, look at things, you can do that. That's no problem. I really like that. Let's go to 1%, 100%. Because I'm with limited screen space here, I'll put that apply as default. So this should all come up as this. So what I've got, again, is I've got 3 kick mics. Oh, that didn't come up. Oh, because we haven't loaded it up. All right, so we're going to do 3 of these all on top of each other, all sold up. And this is I'm just using these as gates right here. Now, this is a trick I stole from Andy Wallace, is that on Snare anyway, use just gates on the individual snare mics, and then when you combine them into a bus, that's when you add your EQ and compression. I gotta say that works pretty well. That way you can treat the top and bottom mics differently because you're gonna want different gate settings. Find out it works pretty well on the kick as well. So we've just got all 3 of these guys going here, just as gates. Cleans it up pretty well. And then here on this channel, let's take that down a little bit as well. That's a little huge. That's what she said. We take the EQ and compression off. So we're just adding a little bit of compression here, like 5-to-1 ratio. Slow attack, fast release, just to bring the snap out. And we're adding a little bit of 10K here. Really bring that out if we want, but let's not go insane. And then we're adding maybe a bit of bottom end at about 70 hertz with a bell curve. And also we're taking out about 400 hertz on the kick as well. Just take the mud out. If we crank that over, that's what we're taking out. And take that right out. That's a little much. You get the idea. And then you can control your bandwidth here. Pretty simple stuff. And that's a very well recorded kick drum. That just cuts great. I love the sound of that kick. That worked out really well. That was Jackson Ward on the drums, of course. He did a magnificent job recording the raw drums. And if you like the sound of those kind of things, check out my Savage Grooves pack. Those are available up for grabs on there, where it's 30 songs, like all these little demos that I do, that you can mix and master your own and use them your own way. And you can even get the video tracks as well, the people who performed on it, so you can put that in your own social media. More on that later. Anyway, moving on. We've got on the snare bus here, same principle. We've got 2 gates going on here. Again, just shrink this down a little bit because it's just kind of eats the whole fucking screen. When I do this originally, when I'm mixing, I have this on a 4K screen. And then when I go into screen capping like this, it goes into 1080. So I've got to shrink things down a little bit. But it's nice to know that they can resize. That's one thing I love about modern plugins. You don't have to go, what the fuck is going on here? And believe it or not, these are fucking bifocals. But so I got, what the hell? So the fact we can blow these up is great for old guys like me whose eyesight is starting to go. It's not as good as it used to be. If you're wondering what that's all about, hey, just wait a while. Anyway, so we've got our 2 gated snare mics. We got top and bottom. They might be just set ever slightly differently. Take the reverb off there. You can hear what's going on. We'll take the EQ and compression off. So that's our raw snare right here, isn't it? Jeez. There's our top mic. Where's our top mic? Right here. Take that off. We've got our threshold to gate open up here. Like, we take that out completely. It's a little choked, so we can pull this back. I love the expansion here. So we can just trim the spill down a little bit, but not keep it out completely. And, of course, the release time. Had that pretty slow. Let's speed that up a bit. And that release time might have been a little bit too slow. Want to let the crack of the drum through. If we go slow attack, it's gonna let the fast attack's gonna just open that gate up a little bit quicker. And of course, that's it for the gate. And on the bottom snare mic, same idea here. That's where we want the slow release. Let that psh. Want that sustain on the snares on the bottom mic. Again, all we're doing is gating here. Combined, that's pretty cool. Now make sure you check your polarity on your bottom snare mic. Because if it goes thin, that means you're out of phase. Looks like Jackson flipped the phase on that during the tracking section of this. So processing going on here doesn't look like a crap ton is happening at all here. I mean, this is a pretty damn good sounding snare just by itself. I'm throwing up a little bit of plate just for a little bit of thickening. It's a good trick Alex Nasla taught me. And what do we got? A little bit of compression. We're hitting it pretty hard. 8 to 1 ratio. Geez, threshold, -10. Slow attack, medium fast release. Yeah, pretty simple. No filtering here. We're not taking any of the bottom out or the top. About 12K. Yeah. A little bit. Not much. Maybe a little bit of beef thrown in at 122. Yeah, that's about 6 dBs. We take that down. Just trying to thicken up give the snare a little bit more meat. This is a really bright snare, so we don't need to add a lot of 10K or anything like that, like I normally would. I really like the sound of the drum, just kind of like it is. Just with using the bottom mic to bring in a little bit of brightness on that snare, and that's working out pretty well. Once again, I got a bell going on down here, and we're trimming out at about 800 hertz just to take a little bit of the boxiness out of the snare. And that's only a couple dBs. This is the frequency we're taking out. Yeah, that's very boxy. Take that out. Yeah, that's a little much. Right about there. That's looking pretty good. And that is it. That is all the processing this snare uses. Ooh, we had it on the black EQ. What happens if we drop it onto the brown EQ? Can we hear a difference? Yeah. It's a little bit thicker in the bottom end. I actually like that a little more. We'll keep on that. And back in the mix. Of course, we're just using a little bit of the old Abbey Road plate here just for a little bit of breath. Now, one thing I want to mention here is that we've got all the close mics going to the drum crusher, and we're just using the SSL channel again for this. And all we're doing is getting a little aggressive with the compression. We're at an infinite ratio. We'll take the reverb out there for a sec. Infinite ratio, fast attack, fast release. We move the threshold back. We just want to kind of get the peaks crushed a little bit. If we take that out, this is what we're doing here. And the cool thing is, let me show you what's going on, what we do with this. So we're just doing this in parallel. This is all the close mics. That's with the crusher off. We're just gonna fly this in alongside it. Mute it. That's thick, that's cool, that's how it should be. I love the sound like that. parallel compression absolutely rules. Again, we're just getting really super aggressive there. And it sounds kind of weird on its own, but we mute it out. It just adds so much more depth to the drums. Now, there's not much processing going on the toms, other than I'm kind of gating the mics a little bit, but not completely, because we're getting a little bit of zing on the snare from that. And we've got one tom fill in the whole song right here. So we just got... That's it. Maybe we can bring that over here. Yeah, a little bit of mid scoop, a little bit of compression. Yeah, kind of hard compression, actually. Slow attack, medium fast release. It's all we need. In a mix. Once again, that thing gets sent to the crusher as well, so that's sitting on top. Pretty damn cool. Again, we've got just a couple more mics here. We've got our overheads and our room mics. Nothing too out of the ordinary going on here. I mean, overheads are basically, I think we're just rolling off a little bit of the bottom. Again, this is an anti-sneap trick. Modern metal owes a lot to anti-sneap. Yeah, we're just rolling off 350 hertz. And maybe a bit of compression going on. Not enough to register anything. Maybe not. Nope. Yep, it's pretty good. Liking the sound just like that. Just a little bit of roll off. Don't need to add any extra zing or anything like that. That works. Room mics, a little different. So that's our room mics not treated. So here we're hitting compression pretty hard. Like we got the threshold back pretty far. Fast attack, fast release. 9-to-1 compression ratio. We're almost limiting. Because I like hitting room mics hard. I really do. Pretty cool, just like that. Any EQ going on? Not really. Maybe a bit of, nope, nothing. Maybe a little bit of low cut at about 1K. Yeah, just take a bit of that papery sound out. Pretty cool. And we've got a kit mic here, which is set pretty much the same thing. This is Jackson's small drum room at his studio that he's working in. And we're just hitting it with a little bit of compression as well. Maybe rolling off a bit of the extreme bottom just to take a bit of the woof out. That's it by itself. That's with it on. Again, we're just kind of bringing that mic in. We've got a hat mic as well. And again, we're just rolling off the bottom end. Not much going on there as well. I mean, that's it. Ride mic isn't even on, really. We're just using it for a little bit of ambiance. But there we go. Bring the reverb in. Again, sounds a little ridiculous on its own. It might be a little 80s flavored, but we put that in, we put the guitar and bass back in on the mix, and yeah, that just all comes together. Of course, we're hitting the whole mix with the SSL comp, and we're mastering it with the Ultra Maximizer, and I'm just using the WLM meter as well. This just lets me know how many LUFS I'm at. 11 LUFS, that's pretty good. I don't want to go too crazy. A little bit of threshold here, a little bit of bus compression on the mix. And that's our drum mix. You know the drums are recorded extremely well when you just really have to only put on a little bit of EQ, and you get that. So, major salute to Jackson Ward for the beautiful job recording the drums. He did an absolutely phenomenal job there. I'm really blown away. And I'm really kind of blown away that I'm getting this kind of a mix just completely in the box. Like I said, with the exception of the little Tagler Magnetismus, but wow. 25-year-old me would be wetting himself with that drum sound right now. We've also got a little bit of the SSL processing going on the rhythm guitars as well. We've got a little bit of C4, a little bit of cock blocker, and just a little bit of the brown EQ going on here with the SSL as well. We're just adding in a little 11K, a few dBs here. We're just brightening things up a little bit. They were a little thick when I recorded them. I'm still experimenting with the Celestion EVH and Hempback combo. So this is the EVH. Let's turn off the cock blocker because it's doing its job there. So I wanted a dark EVH. I didn't want something completely super bright. And then there's the tool mic, so it's a little brighter this time. Combine the two, and that's just massive. So I'm just using the SSL EQ on the channel strip on the guitars here, just for a little bit of 10K lift. Are we even treating the bottom end here? Yeah, we got a little bit of 70 out as well. Yeah, we're gonna take that right out, but we don't want to. That's it. And lead guitar as well. We've got an SSL channel going on there. We're rolling off all the way up to 250 hertz so we don't get any sludge. That's it for EQ. So the lead guitar was just kind of spiking out a little bit there, so I'm just going to throw a little bit of L1 on here just to get that under control. Take the ceiling down. And maybe bring the threshold down just to even things out a little bit, and maybe that'll give me the boost I'm looking for. Let's see what we got going on here. Again, there's that 2-mic combo thing going on. It's so cool. Wow. So there you go. That's the brand new EV2 Waves SSL. I got to say, Waves, I don't know what the hell you guys did, but whatever desk you sampled, wow, great job. That sounds absolutely fantastic. I can't believe I'm getting these kind of results just using basically the same plugin across the board. My, what a long way plugins have come over the last couple of years. I'm seriously getting blown away by this stuff. I think I've got a new favorite channel strip. I've only been hearing some really great stuff for the last couple of years, but this is just was one of the easiest mixes I've ever done. So good job there, guys. Damn, I'm really blown away. Okay, guys, gotta remind you again, this plugin's only going for $39. I'm pretty sure this is an introductory rate, and it's not going to last very long, so I'd recommend grabbing it now while you can get it. Because if you're mixing metal, you definitely want to get your hands on this, because this has got to be one of the closest things to a real SSL I've ever heard. Yes, I had the opportunity to work on an SSL a little bit there last summer 2020, and it was very cool. This definitely has a bit of that flavor going on, and it's kind of flavor I think you guys are going to want to start putting on your records because it's freaking badass. Anyway, links in the description below, and even if you don't want to get it, sign up for their free plugin giveaway. You're definitely going to want to check that out as well. That's coming out on Friday. All right, you got any comments, questions? Of course, I'd love to hear from you guys. If you have questions about drum mixing, any of that stuff, by all means, leave a comment below, and I will try to answer it if I can. All right, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you guys in here tomorrow morning as I continue my 30 videos in 30 days. Take care. Hey, everybody, how's... What the fuck's the guy's name? Shit, hold on. Pause. Hey everybody, how's it? Where the fuck are we on that? Anyway, until next time. I'll look. All right, guys, that's it for this. That's it for this episode.